Hey everyone, I'm Ethan Hattoy from Hattoy's Nursery. Today I wanted to put together a planter of greens for you for the holiday season so you can kind of see how I do this. So usually what I like to do is start off with a workstation. I get all my stuff spread out. So we'll start with the pot that I'm using here. I got this filled up with screened loam. I like using loam because it's really heavy, so when you stick a lot of things in it, it seems to hold on to them better. Potting mix, I don't know if that would be too light. This seems to work pretty well for me. The only thing is later in the season when you go to clean them out, they might be frozen when you go to pull them out. So you gotta watch out for that, or at least try to clean up on a nice day. But I got all my stuff laid out. So I got some branches here if you wanna see some of this stuff. So we got some variegated boxwood. I got some winterberry cuttings. I got a bow. I have some painted branches here, some pine cones. You can kind of see some of this stuff is easy with little sticks on the end so you can stick it in the soil. And then I got some of my greens back here. So I got things separated right now. I got some weeping Norway spruce right there. I got some balsam fir. There's some weeping Alaskan cedar, some white pine. So different textures of evergreens. You can see the back sides on some of these branches have like more silvery color, or some of them have a different color green, and then the pine needles obviously. So I like to do a mixture to kind of break things up. So that's kind of the stock that I have to work with here. So what I'll usually do is I'll start from the back and work my way forward. So I'll start with the taller stuff back here, stick that stuff in, and then eventually make my way to the front, because you don't want the things in the back to hide what's in the front. So the taller stuff I usually put in the back. I'll save some smaller things for the front. And yeah, that's about it. So I'll start with some of these guys right here. These are pretty big and tall, and they're nice stiff branches too. So these make for good things in the back. So I'll just take my loopers and I'll start cutting them into pieces. Just separating them, looking for branches that look good. And sometimes I'll clean off these bottom branches because this is gonna give me something to stick into the soil. So sometimes I'll get some of those out of the way like that, so that way you can just stick them in, because you're not gonna see any of that anyway. You can just pull them off, yank them, or prune them, whatever's easier. So I'll start with a big guy like that, maybe in the back. And get some of these on angles. And you're basically just stuffing them into the soil, pretty much how I'm doing right here. See how right there, that has some lower ones. I'll kind of clip some of those out. Doesn't gotta be clean, just because it's getting stuffed in the ground anyway, in the dirt. Alright, so that's looking pretty good right there. Maybe I'll get one of these in there too. And just always make sure you have more than enough to work with. I won't use all of this on this one, but I try to get a lot of extras so that way I have enough to pick from. Because every now and then you'll pick through your stock, and some things might not look too good, or they might not be arranged the best way. Cut one of these off like that. Maybe stick one of them in the middle to have that like silvery look a little bit. And then try to get some on the sides with that as well. So, put there. Get that one. So kind of stuff one like that. And one like that. And the way you got to picture this as you're putting this together is, how are you going to see it straight on? Because people aren't going to be looking or caring what the sides and the back of it as much look like. So you're kind of arranging this in a manner on purpose that looks good from this angle. So that's kind of how I'm picturing this. I'm looking at it this way, because there's going to be one on each side of these front steps. So that's pretty good for the back row. Got some weeping Norway back there. Got some balsam fir. Now what I'll probably do is get some of this white pine. I think this will be a nice backdrop to all this. And I already cut up a lot of this stuff ahead of time. So you can kind of see these are all just cuttings here off of pine trees. So I kind of got these already pre-cut. And what I'll do is same thing. I'll just take smaller snips off of them to make them not as tall, so they don't completely block the back row, but enough to just create an accent with a different texture in front of that stuff. Like that. So I kind of got them tapered. They're a little shorter, kind of making their way up to the top like that. That looks pretty good. Let me get some more in there, stuff this up really nice and full. hold on that for a minute. So now what I'm gonna do is, I got my bow right here. Got a little stick with wire on the back of it, if you can see it right there too. And by the way, like all of this stuff, we have all of this for sale at our nursery. So you can buy these bows like this, you can buy these winterberry branches, you can buy cuttings, and you can do everything I'm doing right now by yourself. Or if you want, you can come to our nursery and we have a bunch of these all made up already. So you can just purchase them all done up. Or you could even bring your planters in and we could help you fill them up and decorate them. So just so you know, for all this, this stuff you're seeing here, this is all available at our nursery. So I got my bow here, I got the tail. I'll kind of stick this right in the middle, and that's going to go right here. That's kind of the middle point. Probably move it a little bit to the front, that way that tail can hang over. And then what I'm going to do on each side of it is I'm going to put some of this weeping nuka. So this is weeping Alaskan cedar, and these have really nice droopy branches. So these are perfect for the front, because they'll kind of cascade and hang over. So you can kind of see when I stick these in, see how these aren't like sticking upright, they kind of hang over the front. So I'll kind of give it one of these with some of them around the sides to fill that up. Here, a couple more, get some underneath the bow. Alright, so looking pretty good right there. I got these painted branches right here. This red really stands out nice in the back. Stick some of those guys in. Space them out a little bit. And then what I'll probably just do is a little bit of this variegated boxwood in the back, just so we can kind of pick up that light color. One more right to the middle. And that's about it. So that's how we decorate a planter. Tried to do it as quick as possible for you. But we got a bunch of these at our nursery that are already pre-decorated like this. Or if you want to do it yourself, that's how I would have at it. Alright, thanks a lot guys. See you later.